Hey, welcome back to West Seattle Bowl on lanes 23 and 24. For those of you that haven't joined us before, my name's Echo, and today we're gonna take a look at the Brunswick Mesmerize. I'm really excited to throw this ball. I don't always get first pick of the new balls, but this time I did, and I'm really intrigued by the shape of this core and what it might do. If you're interested in the numbers, you can find them here. Thanks, Ben. I have not thrown this ball yet, so you and I'll get to see what it does together. I'm shooting on our house shot, which is 42 feet, and I warmed up with the Hater and the Magic Gem, which I'm gonna throw both of those for comparisons. The Mesmerize is a solid, and both of those balls are hybrids, so I'm expecting to see some little differences, but they're both big oil eater balls. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna line up in the same spot that I lined up when I threw the Magic Gem earlier in warm-up. See what happens. Okay, so I threw that ball well. I didn't put it on the lane quite where I wanted to. I was a little bit right of where I wanted to lay the ball down. So I think that if I get the ball a little bit further left, we're gonna be money. Holy moly! That is a lot of hook. I expected it to move earlier on the lane than the balls that I warmed up with, but that was a lot. Liked how I threw that ball, so I'm gonna move right. 2 with my feet and 1 with my eyes and see what happens. That was awesome. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing with that motion. I'm also excited that I was able to predict the motion of this ball really well. This isn't always my forte. If you've watched my videos, sometimes it takes 4 or 5 shots before I've kind of figured out what the ball's gonna do on the lane. Let's see if I can repeat that. Little inside. That held really well. So compared to my last shot, which seemed to get outside or to the left a little bit more and then came back hard, this one stayed tight but held the line. So I can't get it quite that far out. So that came back better than I expected it to. I thought for sure that that was gonna be similar to my last shot, and I was gonna leave the 9-7 again, but this time it was only the 7. It's better. So that shot was a good example of changing too many things in one shot. I was like, okay, well, I left the 7, so I'm just gonna move maybe half a board back to my left, which is what I would generally do to carry a 7. But then I also decided I was gonna try to not get it as far left on the outside on the lane, which doing both of those 2 things was just doing too much. Better. But not good enough. So this ball so far is behaving like a big, strong, solid ball would for me, in that, am I gonna bring it out during like league on a house shot pattern? Probably not. It's probably gonna be more of a situational ball for me, but it's good to just see how, it's a good way to kind of see apples to apples how things react. I like that ball. Yes! All right, that looked great. I'm gonna try and repeat that 1 or 2 times, and then we'll start trying to move around a little bit. I anticipate being able to move right with some success. I don't think I have the ball speed to play with this ball down and in, but we'll see what happens. Oh, way too far left. Woo! That recovered so much better than I ever anticipated it would. There's not as much oil on here as I anticipated, whether that's because the cover stock is sucking it up or some other magical reason that I don't know about. I don't know, but again, not nearly as much oil on there as I expected. Oh, there we go. Yes, that. Boo. That lost a lot more energy before it hit the pins than I expected it to. All right. I'm not gonna test my luck. We're gonna keep that one, and now I'll move around and see if I can find some different lines. I'm gonna move my feet forwards. It's a big move for me. We lefties don't have to play over in here very often. I didn't hate that. I'm gonna move my mark a little bit further down lane, see if that helps get it down the lane a little bit further. Although at that point, am I fighting what the ball was made for? Maybe. This ball has a little bit more of a rounder shape than I expected it to have, which may be part of the reason that I'm not having as much success playing across. I may just need to tighten up my line if I'm playing further right. Better. Y'all will note Painter Mike in the background today. I definitely needed to tighten up my line moving right. That is not really a line that I prefer to play. I mean, clearly it's successful, and if I needed to, maybe I would go there. Yeah. This is definitely not an outside ball, an outside-in ball for me. That being said, I mean, maybe there are people out there that, you know, have the ball speed to do that. It's just not I. Okay, so I'm gonna try and go back to my original line. That's too far inside. So when I threw that, I anticipated that it was gonna be too far inside. Whether the ball's absorbing some oil and breaking in a little bit, and that helped it to hold its line. Earlier in the video, I don't think that that would have helped as well. There, I like that ball, go. Yes, all right. All right, let's take a look at some other balls and see how they might compare. All right, first up is the Hater. This ball is currently in my bag. It's kind of the top of my bag. Much straighter, more of a hockey stick shape, kind of down and in than we saw with the Mesmerize. Not necessarily surprising, right? Since the Mesmerize is solid, we expect to see it start a little bit sooner on the lane. There we go. That was a well-thrown ball. And a good result. Go figure. That was nice. There was the West Seattle mixture I was looking for. So again, the Hater, right now I'm playing where I'm very comfortable with this ball, where I'm very comfortable with most balls. So, which is getting the ball in the lane somewhere between 8 and 10 of the dots. So the Hater lets me play there, whereas Mesmerize, not so much. It challenges me to play a little bit of a different line. Next, we'll take a look at the Magic Gem. The Magic Gem rolls differently than any other ball I have in my bag. It's very round and rolly, but tends to have just enough energy when it hits the pins to carry, which is great. I don't often throw this ball at West Seattle Bowl, but it's really great if I go someplace with a little bit more friction. So I think that there are some similarities between the Mesmerize and the Magic Gem in shape alone. I think that the Mesmerize has more ability to play in the oil and to play inside out a little bit more than I play with the Magic Gem. Ooh, that's a little farther outside than I expected. That was good. All right, I'm gonna throw the Mesmerize a few more times, just so we can get a look at it again. Oh, bad tension. Like most balls, I think that this ball is rolling a little bit more consistency. The more oil I get, the more I get it kind of the cover stock broken in. So, I really like that ball. The one interesting thing about it is I think I stay behind it a lot more than I have previous shots. So I really wasn't sure how it was gonna react down lane, but that looked really nice. So I'm gonna attempt to try it again. There it is. All right, so in closing, today we took a look at the Mesmerize from Brunswick. It's a solid asymmetrical ball, and we compared it to the Hater and the Magic Gem, which are similar but are both hybrids and not solids. Though I think that if I was gonna like compare and contrast all three of them, I would say that the Mesmerize is like a good right in between the two balls. So my Magic Gem is more round and kind of rolly, but oftentimes she'll lose energy when she gets to the pins, whereas my Hater is a little bit more hockey stick, but saves energy down lane. So I think the Mesmerize has the energy when it hits the pins that my Hater does, but has more of the shape, or kind of an in-between shape between the Magic Gem and the Hater. I don't know that this ball would necessarily make it into my bag because it might be a little bit too much ball for me personally, but I think it could be a great oil eater, a great big ball for somebody who likes to play a little bit more across the lane than I do. So I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I hope you got some information, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.